have a movie recommendation for you on this beautiful Monday. Claudine. Claudine is a romantic drama that was released in 1974 and it still holds up today. It starred the incomparable Diahann Carroll, James Earl Jones, and Lauren Hilton Jacobs. The cast is stacked. Diahann Carroll received her first and only Oscar nomination for this role. So the basic premise is a commitment-phobic garbage collector, played by James Earl Jones, tries to resist falling in love with a beautiful single mother of 6 on welfare, starring Diahann Carroll. The kids are all over the place. She has young kids that aren't quite teenagers all the way up to one heading off to college in high school. 6 kids. And they are a handful. And she's a single mother. So she's doing this all alone. But she hasn't given up on love. Sort of, she has. But she's willing to give love yet another chance. So she starts dating James Earl Jones, but he is a commitment phobe. He just wants to have a good time, and she wants more of a commitment. So the movie follows them, the tug of war of them falling in love but trying to resist. They have trust issues, and but they fall in love anyway. And there's also this part, and I don't want to go into a whole discussion about it, but Diahann Carroll being on welfare, social services felt like if a man were in the home, then you didn't deserve assistance from the government. When social services would make these spur-of-the-moment visits to check up on the kids in the household, Diahann Carroll's character would have to hide any sign of James Earl Jones's character, and this time people in the neighborhood, jealous of the relationship, would call welfare services and say there's a man in the home, and so someone from social services would come and investigate. If a man were in the home, then government assistance was revoked. So there's that part of it. I mean, the performances hold up to this day. It is a beautiful love story. It is rooted in Blaxploitation back in this time, but it's a little removed from it too. But in retrospect, it still was during the golden era of Blaxploitation films. I highly recommend this film. The soundtrack is beautiful. One of the best soundtracks even to this day. Now, the soundtrack was written and produced by the late great Curtis Mayfield, and the songs were sang by Gladys Knight and the Pips. This soundtrack was completely shut out of the Oscars and the Grammys. Now, they didn't have these categories back then, but when you look back over what Curtis Mayfield brought to composing scores and soundtracks, I mean, legendary. The Grammys didn't have a soundtrack category back then, but this soundtrack could have fallen in some of the other categories. Really, the soundtrack is available on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Definitely see this film. Fantastic acting, stellar writing, directed by John Barry.